Greetings fellow hunters. Today we are delving into advanced strategies on how to easily take down the Orphan of Kos. If you have been struggling with this cosmic nightmare and you want to learn how to easily beat it without any cheese tactics but with pure skill, this is your perfect guide. To make sure that you will be 100% ready to take down the Orphan of Kos, this guide will be broken down into 3 parts. On the first part, we are going to talk on how to approach the fight. On the second part, we are going to talk on how to decrease the time of the fight. And on the third part, we are going to break down the Orphan of Kos attacks and see how to counter every single one of them. The way you want to approach fighting Orphan of Kos is switching to an ultra aggressive playstyle. Doing this, you will make the Orphan react on your terms and not the other way around. Playing defensively will make the fight 10 times more difficult than it already is. On phase 1, there are 2 things you want to do. First, the Orphan seems to have 2 modes on the first phase, the chill mode and the rage mode. You want to always have it on rage mode, so you can bait visceral attacks on his mid-range sleep attack. If you have the patience, you can just do this for the whole phase 1 and bring him to 50% HP without any issues. I will show you how to perform this easy dodge in a moment. The second thing that you want to do is to stick to his right side. This will make it much easier to avoid any attacks or abilities the Orphan will do. In my fight with the Orphan, you can see the numerous opportunities I seize to punish it, even when the Orphan is actively attacking me. This is achieved simply by consistently staying to his right side. There are 4 ways to dramatically decrease the time of the fight. The first thing you can do is use throwing knives to trigger the Orphan's rage mode on phase 1. By doing so, you can trigger his leap jump and follow with an easy heavy to a visceral attack combo. Personally, I'm not a fan of throwables, so I just tried to bait the switch a few times, and if that didn't happen, I would just stick to tip number 2, which is to stick to his right side. The second thing you can do, which also combos with the leap bait, is to have a high skill level. Each point you have on skill until level 50 increases visceral damage by 2%. So, for example, with 30 points on skill, your viscerals can deal around to 60% bonus damage. The third thing is to use fire paper. By doing so, your attacks deal a plus 80 fire damage to the boss, which dramatically decreases the amount of hits needed to take the Orphan of Kos down. As it is the final boss of the DLC, you can safely spend some of your insight points into fire paper on the Hunter's Room. You also get 5 insight by discovering Orphan and 4 by defeating it. So if you have 99 insight, make sure to spend some points before defeating it. The last thing you can do is that you can use a beast pellet to increase the amount of damage you deal to the boss. But watch out, using a beast pellet also increases the damage you take. So the more the meter fills, the more damage you take also. I would advise to only use a beast pellet of phase 1, as it can be very dangerous on phase 2. Now, let's dive into the most crucial attacks of the Orphan and see effective ways to counter them. When you first enter the arena, the Orphan will always chill around Kos until you reach his trigger radius. Then, he will always go into rage mode. This is a great opportunity to punish his mid-range leap. All you have to do is to just walk towards it. Do not panic, just walk straight and the Orphan will leap over you. Then turn 180 degrees to hit him with a heavy attack to stagger and follow with a visceral. The time window is pretty short, so turn around fast, otherwise it won't be staggered. The next thing you want to do is to run straight into the sea. By doing so, you have a big open area to work on without any obstacles to block your path while dodging. It also helps on phase 2 when the Orphan does his electricity attack. One attack that a lot of people struggle with is the charge spinning attack. Dodging into the boss as the string passes through your character is the key to avoiding this. But following the aggressive playstyle mentioned earlier eliminates the need to worry about this attack, as it won't be triggered when you are in range. One attack that you will have to deal with a lot during phase 1 is the leaping vertical attack. The Orphan will jump backwards and throw his weapon towards us, then he will drag it back to his hand. The best way to dodge this attack is to dodge forward and to the left. As the hitbox moves from our left to our right, moving towards the direction of the ability, it will deal us damage and stagger us at the end of the dodge animation. Next is the ground explosion. Run behind the boss for some easy damage. If you don't have the time, just run away or to the side to avoid the circular area in front of the orphan that will explode. The next attack is the projectile throw. This one is a bit tricky. You need to dodge diagonally to the left when the projectile is coming towards you. The explosion radius isn't very generous, so the timing has to be on point. The last attack for phase 1 are the violent swings Orphan does when we are close to him. If you simply stick to his right while dodging to stay a bit behind him, you won't get hit by his violent swings. On phase 2, there are 3 very important attacks that the Orphan will do. All of them can be punished, but this time, instead of staying to his right, we want to stick behind him. The first one is the leap projectile throw. Orphan will fly up in the air and shoot out a multitude of projectiles. You want to dodge out of this attack, as the Orphan will rotate 180 degrees when he lands. You can punish him with 1 or 2 attacks, depending on how fast your weapon is. Another phase 2 ability is the lightning waves. You want to dodge into them the moment they are almost in front of you, or just walk between them. The attack starts from the body of Kos in the shore, and comes towards the sea, so being out in the open makes it much easier to dodge. Make sure to keep an eye on the Orphan, as it will attack you before the ability disappears. The third one is the violent attack slam combo. This attack is the most deadly, as if you get caught in it, you can go from 100 to 0 if your vitality is not high. You need to dodge towards your left, and depending on your timing, you might need to do a double dodge. So keeping a track of your stamina during phase 2 is also very important. I hope that by following my guide, you will find success fighting the Orphan of Kos. If you found any of my tips helpful, make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel to not miss any future guides for any Souls-like games. Thanks for watching.
The bottomless curse, the bottomless sea, accepting of all that there is